Ladies and gentlemen, Vince here. I tested a whole bunch of new reward apps for you all this week. I hope you all enjoy. First up, we have Ludo Hub. And this is what it looks like when you first launch it up. Top of the screen, you have your account balance, a 3-hour timer, and your goal. Now underneath that, you have all the various games and little activities you can do to generate the virtual currency within the app. So I'm sure you guys have seen an application like this before. It really does remind me of an application like Just Play, for instance. There's a task area as well. And here you can just go through and manually play advertisements by supposedly playing these little mini games, but realistically, it's all about the ads, guys. Again, at least in my opinion, it just seems to be all about the advertisements with these style of applications, okay? But granted, there are actually games on them, which is nice to see all in all. In fact, they actually do have a dedicated games area, so it seems these little 3-hour apps are starting to really lift up their game when it comes to the development side of things here. So picking a game from the list here, like Arrow Tap, for instance, is actually going to launch the game up within the application itself, which is very different to a lot of these applications where you have to download separate apps. Now, that could be good to some people out there, so it's little things like that that are actually pretty helpful. Now, once you've loaded up one of the games, you'll notice at the top of the screen, your little goal and timer and balance bar is actually there. This is how you can actually keep track of what's going on while you're playing. So let me just clear out this level quickly. I found that each level on these little apps only takes around 1 minute or so. Again, it's all part of the routine of just getting to that advertisement. You see, we have the multiplier here. Obviously, you watch the ad to get more, or you can press claim, which plays an ad anyway. All right, now I've watched the ad. You can see the bar on the goal has gone up a bit. And realistically, that is all there is to the application, everyone. So let me just break down my test for you all. I first started my test off with 18 minutes left on the timer. I generated 3,212 of the virtual currency. That converted into 3 cents worth of USD. Once that timer ran out, I then played again for a full hour almost and generated 21,000 of the currency. And that only gave me another 3 cents USD, everyone. So there you have it. Around 6 cents worth of USD for an hour and 20 minutes of time. But I am happy to say that yes, I did withdraw that currency, although it only capped me out at 5 cents because I guess I didn't reach fully 6 cents. And it did arrive to my PayPal account in my experience here in Australia straight away. So there you have it, everyone. Now, does that make it worth your time and effort? Absolutely not, in my opinion, here in Australia. But again, you do whatever you want with the information. So that's my review on Ludo Hub. Let's move on. As always, everyone, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help support the channel. You guys are absolutely outstanding out there. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Hook Cash Fish. And this is what it looks like when you launch it up. Top of the screen, yet again, we have our supposed PayPal currency, our 3-hour timer, and of course, our goal. And there's an intrusive ad straight away. So yes, you can get used to that pretty quickly, guys. Underneath our goal is the fish per minute indicator. Then further down, we have our little character that is, of course, fishing. And we have a few different mini games and a fish album. I have to say, again, a little bit of work has actually gone into this one, which I can appreciate, but that doesn't really mean anything if it's not good. Like just then, another ad appeared, so every 30 to 60 seconds, an ad's just gonna pop up no matter what. Now, claiming the fish from the album will give a little bit of the in-game currency to your goal. But there's a floating chest, and I feel like this is where the bulk of the actual in-game currency comes from, is of course the advertisement, again. And there's another pop-up ad. So there is an auto button for this game, which is pretty cool. If you watch an ad, you can get 10 minutes supposedly of auto click time. And this is what that looks like when you do activate that auto mode. Again, from a game point of view, it's actually quite nice, everyone. The graphics are good, but there's another ad. So it kind of ruins the fun of the whole thing. Sometimes you will get like this mega fish mode where you have to smash the screen, and that's what that looks like, everyone. Just another way to watch the ad, of course. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you do have your upgrades, so keep that in mind. And that's really all there is to it, everyone. It's an extremely ad-heavy game, and it's quite frustrating, to be fair, because I can't actually review it properly without being interrupted every single 30 seconds. So if you don't like ads, you're definitely not going to have a good time here. All right, now that you know all that, let me just break down my test for you all. I started my test off with 3 hours on the timer, played for around 30 minutes straight, and generated almost 12,000 of the in-game currency. And once that timer ran out, that converted into 4 cents worth of USD. I then played for almost 15 more minutes, generated 4,675 of the currency, and that only converted into 1 single cent, ladies and gentlemen, giving me a grand total of 5 cents. At least here in Australia, which again is extremely disappointing. Just as a note, they do have that extra little rewards area where you can watch advertisements directly for the in-game currency, so keep that in mind. Either way, I withdrew that 5 cents USD, and yes, it did arrive to my PayPal account straight straight away, at least in my experience in Australia. But again, is it really worth the time? Definitely not in Australia right now. Either way, let's move on to the next app. Next up, we have an app called Drama Video. And this is what it looks like when you launch it up. At the top of the screen, we have our Coinbase currency. Underneath that, we have our categories of drama videos that we can actually watch. And of course, on the main screen here, we have the various dramas. Now, tapping on one of them is going to take you to a video player, just like YouTube Shorts or TikTok, for instance. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this type of setup before. And from this point, you can simply scroll through them. Very straightforward to understand. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you're also going to find a few tabs. The main one I want to show you is the rewards one, because here we can actually find our points, our balance, and of course, the 2-hour timer. Not 3-hour timer, 2-hour timer. And you'll notice here, at least in Australia, it's stating there's a 5-cent minimum. Now, to get these coins, you can check in or play through some mini games. Again, all just to watch the advertisements, essentially. I have to say, there actually are quite a bit of drama videos on here, which is pretty interesting because I wonder where these are actually getting made from. While you're watching the dramas, ads are just going to randomly appear, so get ready for that. So the weirdest thing is that you'd think that you get the coins by watching the drama videos, but I found I got the coins by either checking in or just playing the mini games. I feel like the drama videos are just there for show. Speaking of which, I did put it to the test. Started my test off with 2 hours on the timer and 1 cent in my balance. I'm fairly sure that was from a welcome bonus if I'm correct. Or it could have just been me playing around with the app and generating some points. Either way, I went through and played the mini games for 1 hour and 20 minutes and generated 50,000 points. That converted into 6 cents worth of USD currency. Again, very disappointing for the time there. Either way, I did withdraw the 6 cents worth of USD, and yes, it did arrive to my PayPal account within about a day or so. So there you have it, everyone. Just a very odd application. I never really will understand these drama apps. Either way, that's my review on Drama Video. Let's move on. So for this part, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, enjoy. I'm opening up another tin of Pokemon cards. This is another Lumiose City tin. We get 2 packs of Pokemon cards, okay? Now, it costs $25 here in Australia to purchase this little tin with 2 packs in it. So you'd probably hope for a good return. I won't spoil it completely for you. I just wish we got more for what it costs. But sadly, not always the case with Pokemon cards. And I think anyone out there that's ever collected Pokemon cards or any type of like collectibles in general knows that depending on the market value, you're kind of going to either have a very good time or a terrible time, just depending on that certain date. Either way, I'm having an absolute blast opening up Pokemon packs. I'm getting into Pokemon pretty heavily at the moment. It is pretty fun, everyone, okay? And I'm hoping you're all enjoying this little segment on the videos. As you can see, we're wrapping up here, almost at $20 worth of value from a $25 tin. Not the best in the world, but there you have it. I also managed to snag this Mega Zygarde X card, everyone. It's a 3D card, guys. Or as professionals say, lenticular card. It is huge, and it's going to be in the back of my videos now, so look out for it. Next up, we have FishStrike. And this is what it looks like, everyone. Top left corner of the screen, we have our gem-based currency, a 3-hour timer, and supposed PayPal currency. To the right of that, we have our little mini bonus there. Of course, at the top of the screen, we also have our boat with the little hook on it. Bottom of the screen, we can either press the auto button by, of course, watching an ad to get that reward, or simply manually fire, activate quests, and check a daily streak system. So here's a whole bunch of fish that are floating by. Let me just press the fire button once I line up. There we go, done. And realistically, everyone, that is a bulk of the application straight off the bat there. You can see that straight away it's trying to get us to actually watch an advertisement to claim 635 gems. Again, same situation. Even if you don't want to watch that ad, it's going to play it anyway. That's how they force you to do it, as always. Now, with that daily check-in system, you can get the gems. And with the quests, I don't even think they actually refresh everyone. So that is a bit of a downside there. And randomly, as you're playing, it's going to pop up ads anyway. And I don't feel like there's anything else to really show everyone. That's pretty much all there is, okay? So let me just break down how my test went for you all. I started my test off with 43 minutes on the timer, played for around 41 minutes, and generated 38,000 of the gems. And once that timer ran out, that only converted into 2 cents worth of USD currency. I then started another test off with 51 minutes on the timer, played for almost 30 minutes straight, generated 15,800 1,800 of the gems, and that converted into an extra 3 cents for a total of 5 cents here in Australia in my experience, which was very disappointing. I am happy to say though that yes, I did withdraw that 5 cents worth of USD, and it did arrive within a day or so to my PayPal account in my experience here in Australia. So again, there you have it, everyone. I just wish these apps rivaled Just Play or came close to them, okay? Imagine that, everyone. It would be excellent, but sadly, not the case. Either way, that's my review of FishStrike. Let's move on. Next up, we have Coffee Order Maker. And this is what that looks like when you launch it up. Top of the screen, we have our timer, our supposed PayPal currency, and of course, our goal. Underneath, we have our coffee machine, our customers, and a big floating chest. Now, what do you reckon that chest wants you to do, everyone? It wants you to watch advertisements, of course. I mean, who would have thought that? And there's an automatic one anyway. So tapping on the coffee machine is going to generate the coffee. You make your customers happy. Very straightforward game, okay? Bottom of the screen, you do have some upgrades available as well if you want to do that. I mean, why not? The options are there, right? Now, each time you do make a coffee, it does go towards your overall progress on the game for your level. So keep that in mind. And there's another automatic ad. So realistically, everyone, that is all there is to it, all right? You might get these little mini games, but it's all the same concept. Just watch that advertisement to get a little bit of that virtual currency. Let me just break down how my test went. I started off my test with 3 hours on the timer. I played for almost 45 minutes straight, generated 8,129 of that virtual currency. Once that timer ran out, I was left with 6 cents worth of USD, so barely 10 cents an hour there, everyone, if I was lucky. Again, that's just my own experience, all right? But I'm hoping in your country's a little bit better, but I highly doubt it. Again, they do have that separate reward section if you just want to focus specifically on the advertisements. Either way, I withdrew that 6 cents worth of USD, and yes, it did arrive to my PayPal account in my experience, everyone, but again, same situation. Doesn't mean it's worth your time and effort, alright? Either way, that's just my opinion. You can do whatever you want with your time, alright? Thank you for watching. Now that you're done with this video, head straight over to my channel and watch the rest of my new uploads this week, everyone. There's a lot going on. See you next time.